There's four things that are draining the energy of most high performing men. I'm talking about guys that are dads, they own businesses. Maybe you're a high performing guy that, is an entrepreneur. Maybe you have a high paying job. Maybe you're one of these guys that just like, dude, I was an athlete. I'm still an athlete at heart. I want to have that high energy, that high performance every single day. Just like me, all right? We're all the same. You and I are the same, and that's why you're watching this channel. So what I want to share with you is four things that are draining your energy. You remove these four things from your life, and you are going to see something magical happen in your life. You change these four things, and what's going to happen for you is your energy is going to continually rise throughout the day. It's not going to be ups and downs. You're not going to have an afternoon crash. You're going to see your energy rise throughout the day and stay high and stay steady. And you'll be blown away with how much more you get done, how much better you perform, how you treat people better, your ability to focus, your clarity, your confidence, all these things, right? Because guys, when you change your energy, you change your life. All right, so I want to tell you guys a story. When I was, a kid, I was always very active, very high energy kid, right? When I got to high school, I was playing sports. I was playing hockey 5 days a week, sometimes 3 games on a weekend on a tournament. I would get into college. I got into college and I was, training at the gym, working a job after school, maybe 2 jobs. Right. I was really constantly on the go. When I got into my 20s, doing between, the construction business that I had, then going into insurance, then going into network marketing, then going into just full blown entrepreneurship. I really had to take my energy and I had to put that energy into something that I could use to build with. Like I was like, okay, if I'm going to be a self-starter, if I'm going to be someone that wakes up every day with no boss and I'm going to manage my time and my business and my energy and all the things I'm doing, then I need to do things that are going to give me energy. Well, what happened is exactly the opposite. The opposite happened. The story is that over time, I started adding things to my life and I started doing things in my life that were actually draining my energy. So I would wake up exhausted. Sometimes I'd wake up early and I'd only slept maybe deep sleep, good sleep, maybe a few hours a night. And I would wake up just like completely wiped out. But I would be like, you know what? I got to get up. And I got to go, get this day done. And, starting with first thing in the morning, I was tired. And then, my energy would come up a little bit. I'd, smashing coffees, drinking, energy drinks, whatever I could. Middle of the day, middle of the afternoon, my energy would just crash, and for years, this went on for years. And, then, in the evenings, I would, have a couple drinks, right? Because that's what I was doing. That's what you do. I would be eating a lot of carbs. I'd be eating a lot of processed food. I'd be eating a lot of, sugar, a lot of hidden sugars. I didn't even really realize. I was like, oh, I don't really ever have a sweet tooth, but I was eating a lot of hidden sugars in my food. I was doing things that were sabotaging my energy. And if you're sick and tired of, being tired, or if you don't have, maybe you already have a high level of energy, but you're like, dude, I just want more energy. Like, I just want to create more energy in my life so I can do more, so I can become more, I can do more, I can have more. Then this short video, I'm going to give you 4 things and it's going to break it down really simply. And I promise you that you're going to get value out of this video. And if you do get value out of this video, please subscribe to this channel and please share this video with a friend, because I know that it's going to help somebody. All right. So let's rock and roll. All right, guys. So number 1, okay, the first thing is poor sleep. This is the first thing that's robbing your energy. Now, a lot of guys, you know, they grow up in this blue collar, hardworking mentality, maybe from their dad or their brothers or their uncles or whoever the guys that are, you know, the guys in their life, right, that they look up to. And, you know, have you ever heard the term like sleep when you're dead or, um, you know, team no sleep, right? Like you see these guys on social media and they're like, dude, team no sleep, right? And they create this whole kind of like it's like this honorable thing to sleep less. Well, when you really study, right? And I've done a lot of study on sleep now, and I've studied, you know, a lot of experts on sleep, and I've learned a lot. And now, you know, with my Whoop, I'm tracking my sleep, and it's crazy, right? If you want to get 1 month free on Whoop and get a free Whoop, click the link in the description below and you can start tracking your sleep recovery performance, your steps, your strain, your HRV. There's so much data this thing gives you. It's incredible. But when you really start looking at sleep, you realize that just like Gary Brecka says, sleep is a human superpower. So for me, what happened was I started sleeping, you know, a little bit more. And then I realized that my magic number was 8 hours. So if I could get 8 hours, that was great. But I was still there were still some things I wasn't doing. I was going to bed and getting up at random times. So I would just set my alarm no matter what time I went to bed. I just set my alarm before I passed out that as long as I get 8 hours, I'm good. But it was always random times. The other thing was, you know, I was still doing things that were sabotaging my sleep. So one of those things that sabotages your sleep is alcohol. So if you drink alcohol, you are going to fall asleep quickly, right? People are like, oh, I gotta have my nightcap so I can get a good night's sleep. But the problem is then throughout the night, your sleep is all over the place. It's a scattered sleep, right? It's a scattered sleep. And when you have a scattered sleep, it means you're not getting that deep sleep, you're not getting that REM sleep, and then you wake up and you're not burning fat like you could, you're not recovering like you could, you're not boosting your creativity in your brain like you could, you're not building muscle, right? Muscle's not built in the gym, it's built when you're recovering, and especially when you're sleeping. Your testosterone levels are going to be low, right? The number one way to boost your testosterone is to get good quality length, a good quality amount of sleep every night, right? So that's number one. So if you want my sleep routine, okay, there's going to be a link in the description to join the High Performance Brotherhood. I have a whole module in there in the classroom on how to sleep like a high performer, how to sleep like a pro athlete. All right, and I'm telling you, the more you focus on this and the more you decide, like I'm going to sleep like a professional, you are going to notice your energy skyrocket. Okay, the second thing. All right. The second thing is alcohol. Alcohol will destroy your energy. Now, you know, I used to be the guy. I used to work in restaurants, bars, nightclubs. I remember the whole the Jager bomb, right? It was Red Bull and Jagermeister, right? And then it was vodka Red Bull, or maybe it was whiskey Red Bull if you're, you know, a cowboy or you're a country kid that grew up in the country, you know, whatever it is, you're always trying to mix that energy drink, and you're like, oh man, I'm going to get so fired up on this, and then you're on the dance floor, and then you're, you know, you're meeting girls, or then you're, you know, you're feeling like that false sense of confidence because you're like, oh man, I have all this energy, you know. But the reality is what about the next day? What about the next morning? What about the next day, 2 days, 3 days? Like I remember one time, you know, I was going out with friends and we drank too much tequila that night. And we had a great night when we were, you know, having fun, you know, we were dancing, we were having a good time. The next day, and then the following day, and the following day for about 3.5 days, my energy was down. My energy was, it was like I couldn't get that energy that I wanted to really feel 100% or even 70%. Like I was just like, dude, I cannot believe how, it wasn't that I had a crazy raging migraine, or it wasn't that I was like, you know, sleeping the whole day. Like I was working, but I just didn't have that energy. And what's crazy about alcohol, you know, the way that I quit smoking cigarettes in my early 20s was I did enough research and I studied enough to understand what was in the cigarettes, what they were doing to my body. And that's actually how I stopped, because once you have that knowledge and that information, like it doesn't go away. You have it. Well, it's the same thing with alcohol. I started studying alcohol and I realized that alcohol at a cellular level is actually, number one, it's keeping you from burning fat. And the more body fat you have, the lower your energy is going to be. Number two, It destroys your sleep. It's a sleep killer. Number three, it's a neurotoxin. So you're literally putting poison into your brain. And when you're poisoning your brain, like I talk to guys all the time, they're like, well, bro, I only have one beer every other day. Well, number one, if you have one beer every other day, you may not think you have a problem, but you're not burning body fat. You're killing your sleep quality, you're killing your energy. Mentally, you're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel like maybe you're at 60, 70, 80% of capacity. And also alcohol dehydrates you. I could give you more stuff, but this is just, some of the top off the top of my head of why alcohol is ruining your energy. So cut out the alcohol. I drink non-alcoholic beer and I love it. I've got a couple of delicious really, really good craft beers that are, they're like sweet beers. And sometimes you just crave a beer. Well, get a non-alcoholic beer, switch over, cross over that line, cut alcohol out of your life. I'm almost coming up on 2 years now, the date of this recording, which is crazy to think. Like it's been, it'll be in 6 weeks, about 6 weeks, it'll be 2 years. I haven't had a drop of alcohol, and I feel great. I feel amazing. I look better than I ever have. I sleep better than I ever have. And I'm getting more done than I ever have as well. And I could give you, 100 benefits, but that's a whole nother video. So that's number two. All right, number three. Number three is poor hydration and nutrition. Now, I could go on for an hour about this. I want to talk about hydration specifically because I remember when I was living in Medellin, Colombia, and I decided to do 75 hard. And I said, okay, well, what are the requirements? I already wasn't drinking alcohol. I was already going to the gym almost every day. I wasn't getting all the steps in, but I also wasn't drinking 4 liters of water. I wasn't tracking the 4 liters of water. I was drinking maybe like 3 liters of water, which is quite a bit. But I was like, all right, let me up the water. So crazy thing that happened is I went to 4 liters a day. I started tracking, and immediately I kind of had a lingering headache that went away. I felt more energized. I felt more alert. I felt like I was like my body was functioning better. My brain was functioning better. It was kind of almost hard to explain. I just felt better every day, and I was getting more done. And I was like, wow, like I have more clarity, I have more energy. And I was actually dehydrated because I'm a big dude. I'm 210 pounds. I'm 6'4". I burn a lot of calories. I'm a super active guy. So I was like, well, maybe I was like chronically dehydrated before, but I didn't even know it. Your body is like 70% water. Then your brain is like 70, 80% water. And if you're even 10% dehydrated, imagine what that's doing to your brain and your body when it comes to their function, their form, their function, their ability to actually do what they're supposed to do. So this is a big one. Okay. So drink more water. I use Baja Gold sea salt in the morning. I put that in the water, get the trace minerals, get the electrolytes first thing out of bed. And then throughout the day, I'm drinking creatine in my water. I'm drinking, sometimes I'll throw a little salt in the afternoon if I need it, but normally just in the morning. But get your electrolytes, get your minerals, get your creatine, whatever you got to do, but put the water in the body, put it in the system. Okay. And then nutrition. I'm not going to go into this too much, but I'll tell you this. If you up your protein, you cut out the sugar out of your diet. Just those two things alone, you're going to have more energy. If you want to know more about how to eat like a high performer and how to actually eat like an athlete so that you can stay lean 365, once again, click the link in the description below. You can join the High Performance Brotherhood on School, and you will see in there the way that I've broken down the lean lifestyle eating plan. The basic fundamental version of it is in there. It's like the price of that group, you're getting like 10 times the value, 100 times the value, potentially for where you're at and what you want. But click the link below. You can get all my nutrition advice in there. But the fourth one is vices. Now, for most people, the vice is sugar and alcohol. I talk to so many guys and it's sugar and alcohol, sugar and alcohol. If you cut out sugar and alcohol, and I'm saying sugar is a vice because sugar is a drug. It's the number one drug in the world. They put it in everything, and then because you have these things going on in your body, because you've ate so much sugar as a kid or an adult, then they give you medication or then they give you a pill and they're like, oh, well, now you're diabetic or now you have ADHD or whatever it is. Guys, cut the sugar out. I promise you the energy is going to go crazy. And then cut out the vices, the alcohol. Maybe you're smoking weed and it's a problem for you, right? Like maybe you're smoking too much weed and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I kind of feel tired a lot, or I kind of, my sleep isn't that great, or maybe I just feel like, I have some brain fog, I'm not feeling, guys, if it's a vice, cut it out. Okay. No matter what it is, it could be anything. Maybe you're drinking too much coffee, right? Guys, some guys drink too much coffee. That's a real thing too. You gotta take a look at your life, do an audit, and go, what are the vices in my life that are things that are just robbing me of my energy? And I promise you, if you do this, right, you're gonna have, you're in the top 1%, right? Because most guys are just like, well, it's not really that big of a deal, and I'm okay with being a little bit overweight. I'm okay with having love handles. I'm okay with having belly fat. I'm okay with not looking the best I could look. I'm okay with not feeling the best I could feel. But that's not you. If you're watching this video, if you made it this far, then that's not you. So go ahead and do yourself a favor, make these 4 adjustments and watch your life, watch your energy transform. Because when you change your energy, you change your life. All right. I learned that from Joe Dispenza. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said earlier, click the link in the description, get yourself a Whoop. Click the link to join the High Performance Brotherhood. You can see the videos, the testimonials are insane of what's going on in that group. And please like and subscribe to this video and share it with a friend. Leave a comment and tag somebody. Like this is information that has taken me 37 years to learn and to really dial in, but not just learn, but now to organize it and put it all in one place and actually be able to share it and teach it for free. So on this channel, I'm teaching everything I know for free, giving it all away for free. And I want you guys to take advantage of it. Hopefully you got value from this video. And we'll see you guys on the next one.